Hey friends, thanks for joining me today. I am trying out a new ring light setup, one ring light instead of the 3 lights that I had before. I'm not sure how this will look after it's all edited, so just bear with me while I play around with some lighting. Today's video is focused on affordable fragrances. I have been doing affordable fragrances videos for a while. If you're newer to my channel, you may not know that I have an entire playlist of affordable fragrances, so I will link that below. I have done Middle Eastern affordable fragrances, affordable gems. I've done celebrity fragrances, the whole bit. The playlist will be linked below. I wanted to focus today's video on fragrances that are readily available at your local Ulta, at Sephora, at a couple of other mall stores, one in particular that I frequented in my younger days and I just kind of go into now for fragrances, and I'll tell you what that is in a minute here. On my community channel on my page, and you have to be subscribed to me to see my community posts. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I did a poll earlier today, and I love doing polls. I think they're a lot of fun. And it asked, what is your definition of affordable fragrances? Fragrance prices continue to go up. And listen, as I've said in another video, this is economics 101. All businesses, for the most part, there are some exceptions, but the vast majority of businesses price their products as high as they can and as much as the market will bear, meaning as much as you and I are willing to pay for something, right? And if the sales start to go down, they adjust their prices. If the sales continue to go up, they continue to inch the prices up accordingly with inflation and with demand in the public. So we can feel however we want to feel about that, but that is a rule of economics that is not going to change as long as we're alive. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. I had 4 categories of affordability: under $200, under $150, under $100, and then under $50. The clear winner at the time of filming is the under $100 category, at about 48% of you choosing that one. So accordingly, I have fragrances that are under $100 and an honorable mention that has the nerve to be like right over $100. Dang you. The others are under the $100 mark, but they are brands that I trust and that I have several fragrances from, and that I can suggest some options to you that I actually enjoy, continue to enjoy, or have enjoyed in the past. I want to start off with the house of TOCCA. There is a favorite from this house that I just adore, my husband adores, and I can't suggest to enough people. Most people that have tried this really like it, particularly if you are a white floral lover. Some think it's a little cloying, so do try it out. And this one is called Florence. So this is a 1.7 ounce bottle, and it retails for, I think it's $86. These are available on Ulta. I used to purchase them from Sephora, but I noticed that they are not on the Sephora website anymore, unless I am just having a hard time finding them on the website. Let me know your thoughts. This is a really romantic, very girly, flirty white floral fragrance that has some airiness to it, and it happens to have some nice mature florals. The florals primarily for me are gardenia and tuberose and jasmine, a nice mix of the 3 of those in the fragrance. There's a tiny bit of citrus, a little bit of pear to give it this sort of fresh crispness, and it has some beautiful light woods and a very, very soft musk in the base. Primarily, it is a floral fragrance to me, like an airy, flirty, romantic fragrance that never fails to garner attention and adoration from my husband in particular. And I've gotten other compliments from other people. I do like these beautiful, unique bottles with these romantic looking tops there that have like a relief on them. So this is a top choice for me, Florence, and I would like to suggest at least 2 others from the brand for you to check out. I have actually played with the entire Discovery set, and I would like to recommend Giulietta. This one has pink tulips, green apple, and vanilla orchid as the primary notes that are featured. It has this sort of fruity, fresh crispness that kind of almost borders on air freshener in the best way possible. It's a sort of fresh, uplifting, vibrant, fresh out of the shower kind of smell without going into without going into air freshener territory. It definitely has, it says pink tulips, it definitely has a sort of like pinkness to it, a very, very girly fragrance, crisp fruitiness, and some florals. And I think it's lovely. My understanding of Giulietta, I only have the little, mini travel spray that came in the Discovery set, is that Giulietta maybe is a little bit more fleeting of a fragrance. Florence lasts on me pretty well. My understanding of Giulietta is that it is like a half-day fragrance at the most. The other one that I'd like to recommend, although there are several others that I think are worth checking out from the line, but we'll keep it to 3. And I'm going to recommend Colette. And this one has bergamot, sandalwood, and pink peppercorn as the featured notes. And I'll pick that one because in contrast to Julieta and to Florence, this one is a fairly warm, woody fragrance to me. And in that sense, it's a little bit unique from the rest of the lineup. It does have some brightness, a little bit of that pink peppercorn that shines through to give it like some spicy interest, but it's like a tad bit darker and woodier than the others in the lineup. TOCCA has a reputation for being very sort of girly and feminine, and so this one stands out a little bit to me. I would also recommend checking out the Discovery set, which comes with 8 travel sizes like this. I don't think these are quite 10 mils. I think they are either like 6 to 8. Well, they're probably 8 milliliters. Anyway, you're going to get several good wears out of this size. And I think you can get this set for something in the neighborhood of $65-ish on the Ulta website. I will link everything below for you for your shopping pleasure. So as an older teenager into my college years, I frequented this store a lot more because I was trying to be grown and sexy. We're talking about Victoria's Secret. And now I just go in for pajamas and to smell the fragrances. And one of my favorites, and I think this made it into my top 10 last year. If not, it was like right at number 11 or something. I don't quite recall, is Bear. This is, first of all, let me back up. I've been wearing Victoria's Secret fragrances for a long time, and they've been affordable for a long time. I've been wearing them since the college days. Actually, even before then, when like Pear Glacé, remember that? The body spray and the lotion came out. God, I mean, like the entire 90s for me smelled like that fragrance. Late into the 90s and into the 2000s, I got into other fragrances from the Victoria's Secret line that were more mature, shall we say. But my favorites lately are from the Bear line. So I want to tell you about the 3 Bear fragrances. This one is just the regular Bear, and the key notes in here are sandalwood, there's a mandarin note, and there's a violet note. I have to tell you, if I didn't know any better, I would tell you that this fragrance has some kind of vanilla in the base and maybe even a very crisp, happy, joyful pear note. I can't get enough of this fragrance. It is fresh and uplifting and cozy all at the same time. It is like morning sunlight through the blinds, you know, that first peak of morning sun when it's right on the horizon and it's hitting you in the eyeball and telling you to wake up and go enjoy the day. There's something like innocent and light and fresh about that part of the morning that I really enjoy. And this fragrance embodies feeling cozy at that hour of the morning, snuggled up, yet feeling sort of hopeful and bright and energetic. I find it to be a bright, energetic fragrance, but it has this like second skin coziness to it that I just can't get enough of. This is the full 100 ml bottle, 3.4 ounces, and it comes in right under $80, like $79.90 something, $95 on the website. And I think it is fan-friggin-tastic, one of my favorites in my collection right now. Next in the lineup is Bear Rose, which features a rose note. And I love the color, the mauve sort of color, pinky mauve color of the top there. This is the smaller bottle, the 1.7 ounce. And this one comes in the 50-something dollar range, like maybe right under $60. And it's a lot like the regular Bear, except it features a really soft rose note. Now, interestingly, I told you that I pick up something like a crisp pear in this regular, the original Bear. This one does actually have, it's called pear skin, the note, and then also sheer woods. I think this is such a nice, easygoing, non-offensive, day-to-day pretty girl fragrance where you're smelling like you have bathed yourself in some sort of floral body gel or something of that nature. You've come out and you've put maybe like one of those molecular woody fragrances on, and the two are combining into just something really sort of subtle, subdued, feminine, and smelling good. You're smelling good with this fragrance on. So this is a winner as well. And the third and newest in the lineup is Bear Magnolia with the sort of, I guess this is like a off-white cap. I wouldn't call it, well, maybe it is just white. So again, I got the bigger bottle and I'm glad that I did. The website says that this is a creamy floral. And I think I agree with that. There is something creamy about this fragrance. It's absolutely a floral fragrance. The notes that they feature on the website are orange flower, magnolia wood, and vanilla musk. And I do get some really warm white florals. I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm smelling magnolia in particular, but it is creamy white florals with some woodiness in the background, maybe even a very, very slight touch of like a dense powderiness, very slight. And I find this to be delightful. It wears well. I've gotten compliments in this house from hubby on Bare Magnolia when I've worn it. I do think this is a little bit more of a mature profile in the sense that you do have to like mature white florals to enjoy this. I don't find it cloying though. I feel like the woods in this fragrance really nicely balance out the florals and keep it from being too heady or anything like that. So I would say the original is my favorite, followed by Magnolia, and followed very closely behind by the Rose, but all three are fantastic. The next brand, I thought these were all available on Ulta, and now I'm going to make a liar out of myself because I don't see the first one that I'm going to talk about on Ulta, although it is still available at some other stores. And so I'm sorry, this has to be an exception to the rule. I didn't realize as I started filming this that it's no longer available. The brand is Kate Spade, and what started the craze for me was New York Sparkle, which I think I actually purchased off of a discount site, but I remember it being available on Ulta. Anyhow, this is one of my favorite girly fragrances at the moment. This smells like sweet berries and cream. It has cedarwood in the base, which gives it this sort of nice foundation for all of that to stand on. So it doesn't go too much into like cloying gourmand territory. It's such a nice sort of thick, creamy fragrance that has just some really berry nuances. It's blackcurrant. That's the note that gives it that. And then there's peony in the middle. And in the base, it has a note of vanilla creme brulee. Get out of here. And I do think it has that sort of nice thickness that you think of in terms of scent texture. When you think about what does creme brulee smell like, or vanilla focused creme brulee. Oh, so good, so feminine. So even though it's creamy, it has this sort of light fluffiness about it as well. I wouldn't go into like marshmallow territory, not like that, not quite that sort of light and fluffy, something denser than that, but there is a little bit of like lightness and fun flirtiness to this. I dared to wear this to, I lost my blotter. I dared to wear this to a work event and had no regrets, no regrets. I pretty much sprayed myself down with this, and it's fabulous. And I now want to get the large bottle, especially if it's going to be discontinued. So sorry, this has to be the exception to the rule that I stated before, but New York Sparkle is fabulous. I don't know anyone who has purchased this that regretted getting it. Everyone that got this off of my recommendation that I know of anyway really enjoyed this fragrance a lot. So then I think I purchased this one next before the third one, and it's called Bloom, Kate Spade Bloom. I do like the sort of pink top. This is the big bottle, and the big bottle is $95. The 2 ounce is 70 something, and then the 1 ounce, 1.3 ounce is I think in the $50 range. The notes here I just love. The classification of this is floral, green, musky. I don't feel like I get a whole lot of greenness from this fragrance at all. I do feel like it is floral and bright and fresh and musky. Notes here that stand out to me, lovely Granny Smith apple note at the top with lemon and sweet orange. So it's this really bright, fresh, uplifting, happy opening, just like a fresh, almost like a fresh fruit bowl of apples and citruses. So good. Really, really lovely opening. In the middle, there are florals, orange flower, ylang. It says ylang extra. I don't know what the heck is ylang extra. I'm just going to say ylang, white camellia. In the base are some woody notes, cedarwood, cashmere, and then sandalwood. I love the fruitiness of this. I love the brightness of it. I love that it has this sort of delicate woody base that adds some substance and helps it to sort of cling to you during the day. It does have just this overall really bright, very light, almost like a white muskiness to it. That is, I don't think lots of people would call this musky, but for me, it has a little bit of a musky touch. And it's very spring and summer appropriate. Another very highly feminine fragrance that smells like the color of the cap, you know, pink and fun and flirty and just great. This is a winner. And then the third of the Kate Spade fragrances that I would recommend is just the Kate Spade. I think that's just what it's called, Kate Spade. Also has like a deeper pink top, while the one I just shared you, Bloom, has a light pink top. By the way, Sparkle, the big size of it, has a gold top, which I'm looking forward to getting. I enjoy this fragrance too, the Kate Spade fragrance. Some of the keynotes here are strawberry at the top, a very light, fresh, crisp strawberry note. It's not a super pronounced strawberry. Like when you get strawberries out of a carton, if they're not quite ripe yet, they still smell fresh and clean, but they don't have like that deep sweetness that a really overripened strawberry would have. This for me is sort of a fresher strawberry that hasn't ripened up yet. However, there is sweetness in the fragrance. I don't know what's giving it that based on this note structure. There is rose and freesia in the middle, and the two combine to give this a very crisp, floral, light, thin texture in the middle. This sort of thin, floral, fresh texture. Not overbearing, not cloying. So if you think about TOCCA Florence being a potentially heady white floral, I think it's flirty and a little bit lighter, but some people find it heady. There's nothing heady about the florals in here at all. They're very sort of light, demure, delicate. And then in the base, ambrox and cashmere. And I think the base notes just give this some depth and some substance and maybe a slight hint of like cozy woodiness. But by and large for me, this fragrance is that fresh, crisp fruitiness at the top, followed by the thin textured white florals in the middle. And I think it's lovely. All three of these I think are winners. Sparkle is by far my favorite, followed by Bloom, followed by the regular Kate Spade. We're going to head over to Sephora for a couple of brands. My honorable mention is at Sephora too, and I'll save that for the end of the video. And we're going to talk about the brand Nest. A lot of people like Nest because of the pricing and because of the artwork. They are $92 for 1.7 ounce. I have tried a lot of Nest fragrances. Some have worked out better for me than others, and a few I have owned and have since sold for one reason or another. One of them is Cocoa Woods. That is discontinued. It's a lovely chocolatey, woody fragrance. Definitely great for fall. If you're interested in that, check on like Amazon and places like that, third-party sites where you might still be able to snag a bottle. But as far as fragrances that are currently on the shelves and available, one of my faves, especially from this summer, is Lychee Rose. I mean, how adorable is the artwork on these packages on the back? And when you turn them around, there's a little artwork surprise there. I mean, that is so stankin' cute. This fragrance, the keynotes featured are rose, absolute, lychee, and an effervescent pink champagne. This is such a happy, fresh rose fragrance. You have to be a rose lover to enjoy this. I feel like the lychee or whatever fruity notes are in here are a second player, like a second string to the bright, happy, fresh, uplifting rose that's here. And I do think this has a little bit of an effervescent nature, sort of a bubbly, sparkly nature to it that keeps it light and bright. So I would recommend this, and this is a fragrance that I think lasts pretty good during the day as well. I can smell it on myself. If you overspray, you might choke yourself out just a little bit because the rose and other notes may feel a little bit sharp to you. Concentrate it like that. So go lightly on this to start with and enjoy it throughout the day. A fragrance that I no longer own, I sold it to a happy buyer, but I would highly recommend if you're interested in this type of fragrance because it is beautiful, is Sunkissed Hibiscus. The artwork on this is so glorious as well. I just happen to have a ton of fragrances in my collection that smelled similar to this or were in the same family, and I needed a little room on my shelves, so this one was sacrificed to a happy buyer. It is a really warm solar fragrance. It has frangipani and it has a nice ambery base to it, and I think there are some other notes in it, but I remember it smelling almost like a dark coconut with some warm tones, like a Your Skin, but better in the summer, in the sun fragrance, nice florals, very warm, cozy fragrance for summer. We talk about warm and cozy in the fall and winter. This was warm and cozy for the summer and quite nice. I also really love, but I'm not going to recommend to you, Indigo, which is almost like this mentholated tea fragrance with, it has a Moroccan tea note. Or is it Moroccan mint? Moroccan tea, I believe, that has mint. We'll talk about this another time. I don't think this is a safe blind buy for those of you that are just interested in purchasing blindly. So I'm going to leave that for another day. But I will recommend, even though I was a little grumpy the day that I tried this on camera for you all, because I was in my feelings about the 9,430 million, billion, trillion, fulfillion vanillas that are on the market. That doesn't take away from the fact that this is a nice vanilla. I would recommend vanilla bourbon, and I may be looking into a bottle myself, even though I had a little attitude with this fragrance when I tried it. It's vanilla bourbon, brown sugar, and night blooming jasmine are the keynotes featured on the website. I'm gonna tell you what, despite my kvetching about this is nice. It is a warm, almost like buttery, sugary vanilla. So there is Imitation Vanilla Extract, which another recent release kind of smells like that. I'll talk about that in another video. We got to talk. This one smells like the real deal vanilla extract, like the good stuff, the expensive stuff. It even has this sort of slight booziness in the background. I'm sorry that I dissed you when I was on my vanilla crankiness, But this is really a good nest fragrance, and I do like the artwork on this one too. So I will definitely be playing some more with this travel spray and likely picking up a bottle of this because y'all, this is good. It's good. We're still at Sephora and with a brand that I had resisted because I was upset with them that they changed their bottles. They used to have these white square bottles that had this sort of architectural aesthetic appeal for me. And they went to these other bottles that, at least as I saw them online, they just looked really like elementary and boring and cheap. And then I tried them in store and I was like, these are actually kind of nice. Let's talk about the brand. It's called Flur. Flur. And, you know, there were a lot of body sprays from Flur that came out this year. I couldn't keep up with all of that. And I decided to just try the actual perfumes. So I purchased a couple of travel sprays and really liked them both. And I ended up ordering a full one that's in hand, a full one that's on the way. And I'm probably going to be exploring more. So I'm going to start off with Vanilla Skin. This is polarizing. People either really enjoy this or it's just not for them. I haven't heard anyone say that they hate it. And I have heard people say that they prefer the body spray more than this because it's sweeter and deeper. I haven't tried the body spray, so I can neither confirm nor deny that. What I can tell you about this, the keynotes listed: sugar crystals, cashmere wood, and vanilla. It's in the warm and spicy family, and it's a warm and sweet gourmand. I don't find this to be very gourmand. And what I mean by that is I don't sniff this and think, ooh, that smells very edible at all to me. I do sniff this and think warm, cozy sweater. Sweater weather is coming up, you guys. I am so excited. I had a great summer, loved my summer, enjoyed the heat, and I'm ready. I'm ready for, you know, fall spice, pumpkin spice, and everything nice. Bring it on. Bring on all the pumpkins and craziness. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm the person that does not mind that July 1st, pumpkins and fall decor starts to show up in stores. I'm there. I'm that crazy person. And I want to decorate already. It's not even September in my house. And I'm like itching. I'm fiending over here to put my like fall stuff out. Back to Vanilla Skin. It reminds me of how a sweater smells. A nice, warm, fuzzy sweater smells the day after you've worn it, assuming you were clean when you wore it, friends, that you were freshly bathed and you smelled good when you wore it, and it still has some of your natural sort of skin scent and maybe some faint hints of a soft perfume that you had on the day before. I do get a slight sweetness, a little bit of pepperiness from this. I definitely get a very faint, soft, in the distance vanilla. I just think this is lovely. I really do. I love this as a your skin, but better, or second skin fragrance. And so here's the bottle up close. It's a little bit cuter, a lot cuter actually in hand. It does have some substance to it. It doesn't look or feel as plasticky in person at all. In fact, not at all, the way that it did in pictures. And it has the, you can't see this because of the ring light, but the Fleur stamped on the top here. So that's a nice little touch. Cute little bottle. I also got a travel spray of Missing Person and have that one on the way. Did I tell you how much these cost? These little suckers here, this is like, I think it's a 1.7 ounce, so 50 mils, $99. So it came in right under the threshold. Do I think it's worth $100? It's up to you. For me, with these crazy price tags out here, that seems okay to me for what I'm going to get out of this fragrance. Missing Person is one that it seems like people either smell or they don't. It's one of those like peekaboo fragrances where if you look at the reviews online, a lot of people are like, I don't even smell this. And other people are just so in love with it. And then of course you have some people that are just, they smell it, but they're not that impressed. This is called a warm and sheer scent type. I totally agree. It is a very sheer, translucent fragrance. Warm and spicy is the family. Skin musk, bergamot nectar, and blonde wood as the keynotes. What I like about this fragrance especially is that I tried out most of the Fleur Discovery set. And it was one of those things where, even though I tell y'all not to do it, do this. Get your words together, V. I do it. And what I mean is I'll spray, you know, a little bit here, there, and everywhere of the pack, and then go up and down, travel up and down my arm, smelling all the places that I have sprayed the little samples. And I kept coming back to this one spot going, what is that? And why is that so good? I was not expecting it to be that good because when I first sprayed this Missing Person, it was just okay. It was like very nondescript, like, okay, that's a, you know, your skin, but better woody fragrance. Big whoop. And as it warmed up and warmed up and warmed up, it got warmer in terms of the tone of the fragrance and very enveloping and kind of inviting. And I was like, there's something kind of intriguing about Missing Person. I don't know the story behind why it's called Missing Person. I haven't looked it up online. Oh my gosh, I just looked at the story and it's sad. It's a heartfelt journey through love, loss, and longing. I don't want to be longing anymore at this point in my life. Crafted from my personal experience of rediscovering myself after separation, it encapsulates the comforting embrace of skin to skin contact and the lingering sense of a loved one's presence. Whoa. It's a tribute to the warmth and intimacy we cherish, now bottled for you to experience and connect with those cherished memories. Well, dang. Now I'm going to be thinking about this in a sad way. Skin to skin contact. Lord have mercy. It's lovely. It is very light and delicate and warm and inviting, and I like it. I like it. It's the kind of scent I would wear when I wanted to smell warm and cozy and non-imposing. Nobody's going to be offended by you wearing this one or Vanilla Skin. The third fragrance that I would recommend from this set. This doesn't have Soft Spot. I have tried Soft Spot, and I'll come back to you with my thoughts on that. But from this scent, Tangerine Boy, I would recommend for those of you that are citrus lovers. It smells like a friggin' tangerine. Did I just stumble on that? Tangerine or orange, if you don't know what tangerine smells like. It's like a little bit sweeter than an orange. And it opens like, boom, tangerine in your face. And as it settles down, it gets like a sweet tangerine, almost like a perfumey tangerine. And it's so nice. I am not in the market for any more citrus fragrances at this point. In fact, I'm trying to pare down my citrus collection a bit. If I wasn't, this Tangerine Boy, this would be on my shelf. I didn't really dislike any in the pack, but I haven't finished trying them, so I don't want to give my thoughts on the rest of them. So Vanilla Skin, Missing Person, and Tangerine Boy would be my top choices from the house. So I see this video is getting a little long. I'm going to try to be really quick and go through a brand that is only available online right now, not in stores. So I'm kind of breaking the rule, but they're really quite lovely. And I think the perfumer, well, she's not the perfumer, excuse me, the owner of the brand, she works with perfumers to make the fragrances, is a lovely YouTuber. It's Stephanie LEDDA, and the brand is called LEDDA. So she is a makeup YouTuber, and she does other products too. And she's also been into fragrances for forever. She started her own line, and she came out with a banger that is one of my current real favorite fragrances. And it is 22 Oris. All of the bottles look like this in the line. These bottles are, I think they're 1.7 ounce, and they are $98 available online. She runs specials if you want to like sign up for her email list or whatever. And she'll send out sometimes like a 20% off site-wide sale. This is one of my favorite pretty girl scents. Oh, it's your skin, but better, like better amplified. Like you're just the prettiest thing in the world. Some of the keynotes: pear leaf, freesia, sheer jasmine, lily of the valley, iris butter, sandalwood, marshmallow musk. Has a touch of moss. I don't get any moss in this fragrance. I get pretty girl, fluffy marshmallow, a nice, super soft, buttery iris. Definitely get that like powdery orris thing happening. Nice, bright, happy florals in this fragrance. And it's a pretty decently lasting fragrance. It's nice and soft to the skin, very inoffensive, great for different age ranges, and really lovely for those of you that perhaps are still in school, or you're in a medical profession, or you're in an office setting where you are near other people, and you definitely want to come in smelling like a pretty person, but you don't want to get in anybody's face with your fragrance. This is so beautiful. And I haven't really heard anyone say that they dislike it. Some people complain about that it's soft, and some people complain that it doesn't last long on them, but I haven't heard anyone say they don't like this fragrance. Then she came out with 18 Vanilla Nara, which, by the way, thank you to Simply Aisha, because she suggested layering 22 Oris and 18 Vanilla Nara together, and they're just a lovely combination. This has a delightful deep vanilla. It's a little bit of a darker vanilla. It almost has like this fruity nuance, like a dark berry juice kind of nuance, real subtle, and a little bit of spiciness to it. So I'd say a spicy, darker vanilla without getting like into gothic territory or deep, mature spicy. It still stays light and bright. And then her latest release is 14 Isla or Isla Coco, which is a summertime fragrance. This is lovely. This has sort of a coconut water, this very slight greenness, a little bit of woodiness that reminds me of scents by the beach. Like as you're approaching the beach, you've got a beverage in hand that maybe is a little bit fruity. You're smelling a little bit of the scents from the ocean. Both the saltiness in the air, like hints of sunblock are starting to waft over to you. You smell the greenness from coconut trees, and there's this freshness in the air That's kind of what I get out of this fragrance, and it's delightful as well. So all three of these I recommend, with my favorite being 22 Oris. I feel like this is a slam dunk. I feel like vanilla lovers will enjoy 18 Vanilla Nara, and those of you that like summery scents will probably enjoy this 14 Isla Coco. If you're not into any greenness at all, because there is some greenness in here, I would skip this, okay? And then friends, I gotta give an honorable mention to this next brand, because there are fragrances in here that I love, and one of my favorite fragrances is here. It's 110 for the full size bottles. You can get the 1.7 ounce for under $100, and it's the Clean Reserve line. I currently own Clean Skin. I've owned a lot of these through the years, but this is the one that I keep coming back to as my very, very favorite. Now on the Sephora website itself, only these bigger bottles or the travel sprays are available, but I believe on the Clean site, you can get different sizes of bottles. This is one of those fragrances that I have worn for years as a skin scent. I mean, gosh, it's been, I don't even remember when this came out. Maybe it's been 10 years that I've had this fragrance, if it's that old. And there was a different version of it before the Clean Reserve line came out. It had those little like square bottles. Not that y'all care about that. This fragrance smells very cozy, warm, musky. And it has this salted praline note, which I think is fantastic because it adds just this slight, almost like a dark sweetness. Very, very subtle, very subtle. Some people pick up leather in this. I don't pick up any leather at all. And I know my leathers, but I do pick up this sort of slight woodiness in the base of this. But it's, for me, musk and like almost like sweet skin. And it's called Skin. Oh, so delightful, very easygoing. No one anywhere will be offended by this scent. Very white t-shirt and, jeans kind of scent that you could spray on all day, every day, douse yourself in it. No one will be bothered or offended by your smell. You will just smell clean and like you have that warm muskiness coming off of your skin, very, very slight with a little bit of sweetness. It is really delightful and a very unique fragrance. The other two from the Clean Reserve line that I would say check out if I only had to pick three. One is called Radiant Nectar, and the bottles all look the same. So I might as well just hold this one up and pretend it says Radiant Nectar on it. That one is musk, like it's ambrette seed, I think, that's in that fragrance, plus a pear nectar. So it's like this almost like really soft, sweet pear. It's not quite a fresh pear, like a freshly cut, almost green pear that you've just freshly picked. And it's not a cooked pear, sort of somewhere in between in terms of the sweetness. And it has that almost like salty, peppery, musky base to it that I think is just really natural smelling on a person. And it's delightful and it's hard to go wrong with that. And then the third that I would recommend is called Warm Cotton, which is one of their signature scents. I mean, the Clean line in general has been known for smelling like laundry detergent, right? And that one is no different, except it's on the warmer side. It's got some warm tones to it, but it's a very clean, fresh laundry detergent kind of smell that you'll just smell fresh and clean and delightful to other people. So there we go. That is what I have for you today. I was going to talk about some Laura Mercier fragrances too, which are maybe not readily available, but can be found in department stores. I have seen them, but we will stop there in the interest of time. Please let us know in the comments what you would recommend to others to try and follow those rules. It has to be something that at retail is under $100, is readily available at a mall store, and is not Middle Eastern, nor is it a celebrity scent. Try to follow those rules with your recommendations. Just for this video, we'll go back to the others for other videos. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this long. Appreciate you. Hope y'all take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.